In this video we're going to be going over how to estimate square roots without a calculator. And the technique used to do this is with a number line, a specific type of number line. So I'm going to go ahead and draw one here to show you what it looks like. Okay. So I'm going to draw 10 ticks so I can have the numbers from 1 to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And what I'm going to do is list the numbers from 1 through 10 along the bottom. And then above them, I'm going to write down what they're equivalent to as a square root. For example, 1 is the same thing as the square root of 1. 2 is the same thing as the square root of 4. 3 is the square root of 9, 4 is the square root of 16, and so on. So at this point you should be getting pretty familiar with these numbers. These are all the perfect squares from 1 to 100. 9 squared is 81, and 10 squared is 100. There we go. So let's say we were asked to estimate the square root of 10. Now, the trick is to look at our number line, and I'm going to look specifically at this top row above here, because this is where the square roots are, and I'm going to look for where I think the square root of 10 would belong. Well, I know that 10 is between 9 and 16, so that means the square root of 10 would be between these two numbers. And then we can directly go down from here and see that the square root of 10 would be between 3 and 4 specifically. Now, we can even make a better estimated guess based on the fact that 10 is a lot closer to 9 than it is to 16. So, a good guess would be that since it's just a little bit more than 3, I would say it's either 3.1 or 3.2. So let's take a look at another example. What if we were asked to estimate the square root of 42? So again, we're going to look at our top row here and look and see where 42 would fit. And I know 42 is between 36 and 49, and which means the square root of 42 would be between 6 and 7. So it's going to be 6 point something. Now let's take a look and see what is it close to. Is it closer to 6 or closer to 7? Well, 42 is 6 away from 36, and 42 would be 7 less than 49. So it's pretty much halfway between these two numbers. And what's halfway between 6 and 7? Well, that would be 6.5 or 6.5. So just to be clear, when you're estimating these square roots, you should always give one digit after the decimal. So you're estimating to the nearest tenth. Okay, so let's go ahead and try one more. How about let's estimate the square root of, let's do 60. Okay, so first things first, we're going to look through this top row, try and figure out where 60 fits in. Okay, so it's less than 64 and bigger than 49. So our estimated number is going to be 7 point something because it's between 7 and 8. Now 60 is definitely a lot closer to 64. A little bit more than halfway. So I'm going to say it's about 7.7 or 7.8. And that's basically it for estimating square roots. You can probably tell that this is a really effective thing to be able to do in your head when you don't necessarily have a calculator to rely on. A lot of times you might make a mistake when you're using a calculator. So it's good to be able to estimate in your head, well, I'm trying to figure out what's the square root of 65. Well, you should know right away, well, the square root of 64 is 8, so it's going to be just a little bit more than 8. So if you type the square root of 65 into your calculator and you get something that's drastically off, you can be intelligent about it and be like, oh, I must have made a mistake. So yeah, that's why this is a useful skill to have. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you next time.